All right, everybody. Welcome to today's live stream. We're going to wait a few minutes here as we traditionally do to make sure all the notifications get sent out and that everyone can tune in. Also, if you're not aware, there's going to be a new schedule for next week's stream. That's down in the description. So if you want to be a part of all this fun, next week we'll be doing more similar stuff. So make sure to check all that out. Today we have a esteemed and honored guest joining us. Collyns Stenzel is tuning in from Chicago, right? Sweet. So in case you don't know, Collyns is
Chicago. How you guys doing?
An LD. And he works for a little artist called Dead Mouse, or you might hear him refer to him as Joel. And he has a whole system of LUA scripts for his punt file that we kind of wanted to show off in this stream. So without further ado, I think I'll hand it over to him. He's got about, what do you think, maybe like 30, 45 minutes worth of actual show and tell, and then we can do some Q&A. Yeah, we'll make it more of a show and less of a tell.
Well, if I press the buttons real fast, we'll be out of here in 10 minutes. All right.
Oh, hang on one second, Collyns. Sorry. Let me. I'm working on his audio.
Like to go over the basic points of the.
Well, it's weird because you weren't showing up in the audio source.
Showfile.
Can you
Can you get everybody see everything on the screen?
hang on one second? I'm gonna monitor my headphones.
I have my Showfile mounted to.
Can you talk into your mic?
Places where I could. What do you got?
It's very strange. I'm working on it, guys. Sorry about this.
Yep. Right here.
Oh, I think I see what's going on here.
This one too. Christian Jackson is an okay audio guy.
Okay. It looks like I've got you now, so we can go ahead.
He can
Sorry about
press
that.
the button. Turn the knob. Check 1 2. 2. Check 1 2 3. Oh no. Can you do it? Can you do it? Okay. All right, so yeah, let's get back to this. So this show file
I see what's going on. I figured it out. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, buddy. It looks like hang on, I got to figure out where this is coming from. Professional streamer, everybody. Professional streamer. Are you sure that you don't have the stream up in another window? Yeah, it seems like it's coming through VLC through another output. Interesting.
even these little Atom audios are
It looks
off.
like we might be back and cooking. Okay, let's try it again. Sorry, buddy.
All right.
Let's start from the top.
So where should I continue? Start from the top. All right. The show file is based around getting in and out of a venue really fast. So I've categorized all of my slots in my show file. You can see here on the screen, you got slot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's where my movers will go. Say slot 1, I can put 3, Martin Mac Vipers, VL 3000, and let's say a BMFL in slot 1. Big movers. Slot 2, I could put beams in there. We got a 5R beam. We got a bunch of China stuff today because we're in China. Slot 3, we'll have more amazing China stuff that doesn't really do anything. And slot 5, say we put some Q7s, only for the fact that I'm rebuilding the show file at the moment and all the strobe functionality is being swapped around and no longer works. but it's still, for the purpose of what we're doing, I think this will work just fine. So when I get to a venue, I'll PSR. I will go ahead and I'll lay out my screen here, and this is my, what I call my banks editor. And in this window here, I can move my modules around, and module is what would be like, say, a movement module where my pan and tilt faders will end up, or my color and dim faders will end up, or let's say like the flicks module, which we'll get to later, which takes up many spaces, up to 3 pages. And I can lay these out wherever I want. I can remove them. I can move them around. You know, I could say I want my masters module to go there, and then they'll swap. So it's kind of like a little layout interface that I have going on. Pretty neat. Oh, of course, it's going to break right now. Sure. Yeah, come on. There it goes. It just didn't refresh right. But it's there, and I got 3 pages I can work with my busking file. Pages 1, 2, and 3. And, you know, in that, here, let's switch over here. So, you know, banks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right across the top, and then the buttons on the bottom. So now that everything's all laid out here, and we know where it's going to go, I go in and I get my references for my fixtures if I've used them before. I don't know if any of you guys use references. Here, presets. You select your little guy, go from reference, and then you merge. It'll give me 57 presets. What's good about that is that it lays everything down in the same spot every time. So then when I go to program my executors, I'll be able to use the stuff that's remembered in that same portion. And I have a big library of movers that I've gathered over the years that, you know, it just, you know, Vipers, just throw it in there. I don't have to program presets anymore because that's such a pain in the ass. Fine-tuning focus is another one. Let me switch back there. There I am. So I'll get into a venue, and here, what we're going to do with this is we're going to start this show file over. So I'm going to
prove that it actually works, you know, you're not just talking out your ass.
I'm going to reset my, yeah. I'm going to reset my slots. I'm going to reset programming variables, and we're going to reset our palettes. So we'll go through here, and you'll see, well, you know, it doesn't work every time. I just moved this. So start right preset. 3.1 through 3.13, 3.16 through 3.22, and then we'll get this guy. So now we're completely blank. All right. So let's go ahead and set up the show. So go over here, and I'll do my initial setup. And what this is going to do here, let's cancel. Let's bring up a window so you can see the script running. Let's wait for this to stop in the background because it's resetting all of these variables on all these windows that the show file will reference to see if a fixture has something or does not. And let's see if we've done yet. Yep. All right, we'll go over here and we'll just get going. So yes, I want to proceed. Right now I'm exporting the fixture types and I'm reading what they have and gathering all the groups, and it stores an array of that information inside a plugin. And I'm going to store my darts in slot 1, 1. And I'll explain where that goes later. So here's slot 1_1 because I can score up to 3 in an area. And I want to use the shutter. I'm going to use the dimmer, the color. And it's going a little slow because we're a lower priority. I want to use it in my bump builder, and I want to use the positions. And now I got some axioms. We're going to program those in 2.1. See slot 2_1. That's where you're going. I want to use the shutter. I want to use the dimmer. I want to use the color. It's going through and reading the fixture. Use the bump. Use the position. All right, now I got the Q7s. Let's use them like a wash, but we'll put them in slot 5. So we'll go 5, 1. I don't want to use the shutter on this one. I have an internal effects generator for things that, you know, you kind of want to keep on time. So we're going to use that for those. We'll use the dimmer, the color. And now it's going ahead and it's sorting it all out here. Now I want to use the bump. All right, so now we're building groups and worlds. Let's see, yeah, we're storing it all into our worlds over here. Not yet. Help speed this up. All right. So with that right there, that sorted out all of my initial groups. It stored all of my movers into worlds, which I can access. It then applies the movers into a color world. So make sure that I know that I can apply that specific mover range to the color executors. Let me do wipes and stuff like that. So this gave me a bunch of options for sorting. Now we're going to go, say I would go build myself my layout view. This center X here, that's my 0, 0 coordinate. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to
Are you able to put any sort of tolerances for discrepancies
by grabbing that, exporting this layout,
like auto-generated
searching the XML file for the XY data,
views?
and we're going to write that back into another plugin. So that's pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I'm working on the 3D. What I did is that this stage is actually 90 degrees off to the left. And so what I wanted to do with the 3D was be able to set my orientation. Say if they gave me a layout view or a 3D file that's completely messed up all the way to the left, I want to be able to do that. And that's what I'm working on this week, is being able to set my looking at stage position from the 3D. And then I can just auto build from that into my layout view and have it spread out real nice based on its selection order. So here we'll go ahead and we're going to build the position array from layout 1, which is where we were. We're going to build a 3D 1, 2. And so we'll go ahead over here and take a look at that. So you can see we have all of our head number, position X, and position Y. And that's all the fixtures that are in the show in that layout view, and gives me all that data. So now from there, I can go ahead and build my symmetrical groups, which I need for my movements, some dimming color effects, stuff like that. So I hit the symmetrical group maker button here. You can see it's ramping up, doing its thing. So there we go. Now we've made all of our symmetrical groups and they've been stored. I keep losing that window. Here we go. So I got on my left for my darts, right for the other darts. So then when you grab these, if I grab my symmetrical group and I highlight through, you can see I'm perfectly symmetrical as we go with it. And like big shows, man, this takes so long. I'm not going to lie. When you click every single light, some of these giant stages, it's unbelievably terrible to click all those little buttons. But this is the path I chose. So now that's auto-built. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to store an all left. Store here, overwrite. Clear that out. And we're going to store an up to down. Whoops. Overwrite, there we go. Can't type. All right, so now we have every single group that I need to build a full, complete, basic punt file from. I can build my positions from this, my color effects. I could do all my strobe, everything. So I could have everything pretty much rockin'. So if I go to my, I got to get my presets in here. So we'll go setup. We're going to do auto create presets. From reference, merge. I'm going to do the same thing for the darts. Okay, I'll go back. There's all my presets. That's everything that I need laid out perfectly for this show file. Now we're going to go ahead and build everything. So I got a couple more buttons I press here. Some of them don't work, some of them do. But we'll go ahead and we're going to build our... Oh, yeah, that's not going to work. I got to run this. I got to take all the palettes that we have and turn them into variables. You can see screen 4 here. I'm like setting these little cookies. So it knows that it has a prism, it has a frost, has a gobo. How many gobos?
Oh, it's pretty good. I guess there's about a 5-second delay between us, so it sounds like we'll have to pause between our answers
So,
because we're talking to each other in real time. They don't know this, but we're talking in real time. But because of the stream processing, there's about 5 seconds we have to wait. But yeah, I mean everything's honestly pretty great out here. I like the weather in Seattle. How's Chicago? 5, 4. So are you staying busy at all during this besides just working on show files and Vectorworks in, or are you doing any of that still?
Yeah, we had a good thunderstorm today. It was nice. Came through, washed away all the dirt, digging up the yard, getting rid of the weeds. We're on slut. I'm drawing a one stage. I have one client that purchased a stage, so that's what I'm doing. Other than that, I'm remodeling the basement. Went down to Arizona, helped my grandpa paint his house. Oh, look, it's done. So now I've combined all the variables. You can see screen 2 and 3 here. I got these little 1s and 2s and all these numbers here. And what they're going to do, these will reference as the auto programmer goes through and does its thing. So let's go over here. We're going to go ahead and build my color execs. So you can see. Man, I should have made this little guy a higher priority. She's moving slow. So the fixtures that have colors are now automatically programmed in there. Pretty sure everyone has something sort of similar to this. It's pretty basic. I'll go ahead and create our position execs. Let's verify that our positions came in. Yep, here they are. Create those. All right, and then let's build some gobos, which I've been working on here. So. So now that we have our gobos done, now let's go ahead and let's hit our modules. We place them out in our setup file. My movement module is going to be in bank 3, which is faders 11 through 15. Masters module, I like it in bank 4, which is 16 through 20. My dim color module, I like that in 21 through 25. So we'll go ahead and hit those buttons, and it starts writing itself. You can see it will eventually catch up. Buttons. Oh, didn't like that. There we go. Why? Slot 1, 2 skipped. Should have made some buttons somewhere. Oh, sad face. Let's try this guy. Well, that works. That's good. Now we got to figure out why the movement module didn't work. Oh, that was masters. Here's the movement one. Let's see. Boom. So those are all my shapes, pans, tilts, circles that I can access from the layout view. And then we got the strobes here. I got these nice little pop-up menus here that will pop up. What it does is it writes an executor. I can show you a closeout. Writes an executor right here on this page. And when I make the choice, it will save a variable and delete that executor. So that way I'm not constantly like having something in the board. I try to keep it as small as possible. So here, see now that executor's gone because my choice has been made. Right to another executor. We'll do random there. I'll do this one random too. So now those are my strobe options. I like to keep them right below so you can kind of bump them with your thumb. And now we're going to go through and see what we got. This is just a extremely basic show file. Let's go ahead and write a direction with my color. But I don't know how long has it been, like maybe 10 minutes or so. And maybe say add about 10, 20 minutes to make a layout view. So you're up and running with a full punch shot font file in like 30 minutes. Now it's writing all these colors slow. Let's go ahead and flip over to L8. So those are all of our darts. All right. You can see the frame rate drop significantly low. All right, so now let's see. We got our movement stuff has been placed correctly. Set those lights in the back. We'll fix that position. All right, so now we come to a point where the effects engine doesn't work, but that's okay because we have the augmentilatiomatron. We'll go ahead and we're going to build this bank down here for 1 through 5. And what that's going to do is it places out augmenters where I can mess with like the width and it doesn't like this board. Let's stop running that one on there. You know, I use this stuff like every day, and whenever you want to show someone something, it doesn't work. There we go, that's better. So now, if I switch this camera view here. So now we got the board out. We can put some positions together. Pull our width down. So now we have everything, a basic show movement. The nuts and bolts here of a show that you walk into the client, you can give them something. You know, what might not be the best show you've ever seen, might not be the greatest show you're going to put on, but now you have something. But that base show that everyone takes this long time to program, where you're spending that time on the plane, if you try to eliminate all that fixture, trying to figure out what it is by saving those references and saving your last show and categorizing the stuff that you've already done, you use all that previous data and you can get up and running significantly faster than most other guys at the board. So now we're going to go ahead and can do things like the Flix module, which is over here on screen 4. So I set this up to work with the banks 1, 2, 3 for this demonstration here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick what this is going to do. We're going to make this like a dim bump, this first one. The dim color position. I kind of like it because it's a wipe and it falls down. It's kind of nice. Same thing with this. And let's just show you where those get stored real fast. So it's going to make sense. So here, I got banks of 5 because you got 5 buttons. And then I have 10 rows. This is banks, or 10 rows. So this is bank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 you can place anywhere you want if you want to overwrite. I usually use that for like the monophobia, specials, randoms, and stuff like that in that song. Go ahead and pop this guy back down. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to write these down here to these executors down here. So now it's putting my dim bumps there. Putting these little Flix guys here. A couple more here. So now we'll go ahead and take a look at like So we'll switch over to L8. Stop our movement. Let's see what we got. Nice cool hits. Got a couple flyouts. Real nice and simple. And that was just done very easily with a little bit of effort. Color into those so we can see the second color pop. So yeah, I mean, that's basically getting you fully up and running, besides breaking this up and maybe a couple more masters, because the stage would be really boring if everything was...
That had to be less than probably, what? We've been streaming for 20 minutes with you doing everything.
I'd feel comfortable with rocking that after some of the stuff. All right. How long was that? So if this was a normal thing, so let's say add 10, 20 minutes for a layout view. So 40 minutes up and running full punt show, right? And then I guess for songs and stuff for the mouse, that's a whole nother battle because all that stuff's really intricate. So what I did is I wrote custom plugins to basically rewrite all the songs. So all the songs are inside the show file. But with this basic stuff here, I can do most of the songs that I have here because I have this, say like this grid thing right here. Let's go play with some dim color presets. So I made this little storage area where I can go ahead and store exactly what's happening on here if I like it. You know, we can change my rates. Let's do like a half. Do this guy. We'll do this guy faster. Set him at a 1. 0 blocks. And so I got this guy pulsing with the beat, and he's having a good time. This guy, we're going to do 12. 2 blocks. Symmetrical dim and color. That's Q1. Now I'm going to store this. So record. Let's do here. Press this button. Alright, so say then I want to do the next one. I want to have 0. Whoops, that's a weird one. 0 groups. And I want everything to be at the half rate. Got my dim color presets. And say you're doing this, you know, rocking out in your hotel room or whatever, and programming some new songs. So these would always be there as long as they fill at that slot. So another thing. So now press this and another thing. So if I go here, let's do a little, move this over because I have all one layout view. I don't know if you guys do this, but this is the genius move here. You can organize anything however you want. One big layout view, move it around. So now you can see I can recall, you know, my 1, it's going slow, my 12, my 2. All that stuff starts to come back because I just saved it in this array over here. It's kind of like a little memory bank. You know, do something else. This at 24. Now, granted, I'd be on a console with high priority, so this would just fly through. I can actually probably just kick that guy out real fast. Connect it. Dismiss. Bye. There we go. So now I got my one group guy. This guy was all zeros. But you can go through and say you like line up your effects to name it for the song you want. You just name the song. Like I want to do, you know, Avarisha with the pulse. Boom. I hit it in there. I press the Avarisha button. It's ready to go. You can do it for individual banks. You can do it for all of them. Same thing with the movement. You can find, you know, stuff that you really like, some presets. Go ahead and just save it there. Same thing. Or you can reset all of them. But it's pretty neat. These actually write to actual plugin arrays. Over here, let's press page down for a while. Right here. So this basically captures all the information that's going on inside the effect at the time and saves it to an array. So that way I can go back and place it exactly where it was. this is just a single, you know, one would be slot 1, effect 1, you know. Some of them have nothing. There's no data. Same thing with the movement, but I'd like to keep everything on one page, because I find that hunting for pages or songs is suck, especially if you don't get a set list and you're trying to hit those cues. It's just very difficult. So if you can keep everything on one page, access, you know, a couple presets and hit it, and bam, you're good to go. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the basic punt side of this show file. I really don't have much more, because it's all the effects, the wipes, and everything are all inside of, you know, all the presets. So let's take a half hour to answer some hilarious questions. I see a chat here, Christian. Yeah, switch that. And go big people. Hello, big people. How you guys doing? Let's answer some questions here. At that base face guy, if Joel's gonna build a client for the lighting for his plugin for, are you talking about his UE thing? He's probably gonna figure out a way to do it. That guy's smart. He's got it. How much RAM does the show file use? Where's my view? Like nothing. The show file is very small. It's all just tiny arrays and bits. Hey, where do you find the RAM? Yeah, probably. Wait, desk status. That's where I'm at. Oh, real-time performance. Desk status. 1,837 gig. No, that's the computer. Let's go play with the board. System. 2 point out of the 8. What else we got? So how do you start to learn to code in Lua and MA2? It's actually not that hard. That Lua wiki, that does pretty well. I would start there. For you, you guy's really smart. You can do that. You can bother me sometimes on Facebook Messenger. If I answer, I do. If I don't, I don't know, but maybe I'll do another macro while that macro is running, and you have a bad time. You know, Lua runs in blocks, so it's going to wait. It has an order of things where I think is when they started, everything started running together. God, that was a wake-up call. Labels colored in my layout view? What do you mean? Yeah, Photoshop doing. Oh, there's many ways. Inside, you know, this is just normal appearance stuff. Set up. Oof. I mean, I came from Camsys to MA because I wanted to write macro. I needed to. The Camsys macros. I had a macro programmed out where it was his individual button. That and then making the mistake. The way that they had it, you could like change. You could do button and then how many seconds you have. It's I would rather just have like a script, a command line. You can bark some stuff into it and have the data come out the way you want it. Yeah, I would probably be on a Camsys. So how long do I spend creating a show file for a tour, and do I base the timecode show off the busking show file? So that's a good question. Problem with the timecode being overlaid on the busking is when you run into a situation where you hit the plugin, and then based on still gotta have your positions, you need your palettes, you need all that stuff, and it will go through and it will program up the song based on what I store inside these groups, which was kind of my solution for making sure that every single time there was a hit, because some of the stuff is just so intricate. You know, it's a great producer, and you want to be able to complement all of those intricacies that he has in his music through, you know, everything, the video and the lighting. So this is the best way that we found to do it. So no, I'm not going to incorporate the busking show file into timecode because it's going to give me headaches later. It says it's really blurry on YouTube. Yeah. Oh, I'm watching it back on the stream. I'm sending it out to you. No. Well, that's not good. Let me send a message real quick. All right. That sucks. Stupid restream.
Yeah, guys, sorry about the little issues with the delay. I've restarted VLC, and it looks like the delay issue is a little bit more reined in. So if you guys have any questions, I'll be reading through the Twitch chat, and then Collyns will be reading through the YouTube chat, and we'll pick a few more out here. We got about another 15 minutes or so, and then we'll sign off, and then, yeah. So I'll hand it back over to Collyns now.
Let's get some good questions. I don't know. I'm just over here pushing buttons now. I just think it'd be really cool if you could have someone stream to a VJ, right? Take the stream in, stream that stream to an LD, put it in a visualizer, right? Or stream that to some data. Take those data packets, throw them back in a visualizer in a third locations, because that way you can have LDs and VJs do their thing to a performance remotely, and then sync them back up at one spot. I wonder if that's possible. Not with this quality though, because this quality does not look good. It's not on YouTube. For the mouse head. The video one? No, I get it, but there's a video mouse head that he has that runs Resolume and this like a little teensy chip and rocks out. Yeah, that's right, Alex. It will never be in sync. He's got it. It's really hard, especially when it has like variable bitrate. If you can maintain constant bitrate, I think that you could probably keep it pretty close, but it'd have to be someone monitoring constant with like delay faders, you know. Is anyone going to really use it? Man, I would really like it to take off. I would like a, I'd like a standardized way to pass fixture data between everything, because if I got a GDTF fixture of a new thing from a manufacturer, I throw it in Vectorworks, it has a 3DS model right in it, and I'm good to go. That's fine. But you have companies like Vectorworks that cannot handle any 3D data whatsoever. It's like they're so, it's really rough. You get a big stage going and you're sitting there bogged down. Yeah. Oh, sure. Okay. I'll push these buttons. Yep, there you go. Really? It syncs back up. That's weird. And what, are you doing this all on one computer? That's probably why. I had the NDI pull link and I sent that into Resolume. And then I sent that across. So you're going NDI right into OBS? I wonder if there's like some weird clocking issue there. Time to get out of Big Ben. how do I... You gotta have to read that again to me. Oh. No, you don't need to keep them patched anymore. So if you just create a fixture, so how do I create reference data on the fixture? I do not need to keep the fixtures in the show file. So you go in here, auto create, and you go to create reference preset. Let's pull this window up here so you guys can see. There you go. I hope you guys can see that and it's not blurry and garbage. Create reference preset is a tab. Go ahead and highlight the mover you want, the categories you want, and select one of the lights and hit create reference. That will then store all that data inside the Martin axiom. So if I go to my fixture library, let's just get deep in here real quick. Where are you, Grandma? Library. Fine. Where are you at? Should it be at the top? Martin Mac axiom. What is it? A Mac axiom? Just type that.
And guys, just so you know, on the stream, I've got Collyns muted right now, just so that I can feed him questions. So I'll be feeding him questions. You probably won't hear my voice, just so that we don't have to deal with the delay compound issues from VLC.
So here we are. Here we got a lamp off, lamp control. These are all the references and stuff here. Virtual fixture blocks. Where did I put the rest of it? No feature beams. Here, you know what? It's easier to show if I just export the fixture. Setup. Let's do SD4. Fixture types. Export. USB1. Overwrite. Okay. The two. So here's the Martin Axiom hybrid XML file. And right here at the very bottom, it created a new line here with all the position data that I told it to take, all the gobo data for my show file. Open, red, yellow. These are the names of my colors. These are the names of my gobos and all that stuff. So it's in the fixture. So we don't need to have them in the show file anymore, which is great because when you PSR something in, you go ahead and make the fixture based off their data, and then you load in the presets. Dog's going nuts outside, sorry. So, I've had L8 for years. I don't know, it's just, I've had it forever. We used to previsit life and color stuff on it. I kind of like it. I'm not going to go out and buy a new one right now either because we don't have jobs. I mean, it looks pretty good. I'm not complaining. All right, what else you got? I use a macro to control a LUA. And the reason I don't use macros is because they can't run simultaneously. And if you have fast fingers and you hit two, you got two things running. So say it's an auto programmer for two fixtures really fast. Now you're jumbling up all the programming and it's going to get all weird. So I don't do that. Yeah. mean, I'm good. I'll answer more questions, but I don't know. Vectorworks workflow. I grab their fixture bodies most of the time, but I do not keep their classes. I just swap them up, put them into a single class, and then put them inside a library that I have, because trying to hide and, you know, trying to hide classes or sort things with how they do it is almost impossible. Three classes for one light. Come on, guys. Notepad++. I like VS Code. VS Code runs it for you while you're doing it, but it looks so bland to me, and my eyes are getting old. One thousandths of the horsepowers. I like that car. We had the boost leak in the wastegate yesterday, so I'm gonna pull that off. Get that all sealed up real nice. Okay. So, I do take consideration for them. So in the, I guess I could switch it. I want to have parameters for it, but this show file was created with JDC1, so let's use that for an example. When I run the initial builder, it will break out the JDC1 because it will see that it has more than one module, because it will read a fixture file. And then it will take the first part, and I can use it as a strobe. Plate 2, the plate, I can use that as a strobe too, so now I have a color and a white strobe that I can bounce between. The pixels I'll then throw on slot 5 or 4, because now we'll have, you know, another fixture to kind of play with. And then the rail I'll put wherever, because I don't really program the rail in. I use that just like not fuck this up. Not fucking it up. Which one are you? Right there. Okay. So you can go here and look at screen 2. Like, they will split up these cells here. I really hope it's not blurry. Nice experiment for us to try, you know, on a lazy Tuesday. But I got these cells here. The cells will then, it will ask me where I want to put the module, and then I can put it into one of these cells. So when it goes to auto programmer, it knows that the color came from the cell because it read that that module has color in it. It asks me if I want to use that color over the main color unit in plate 2, or you can use them both. And then it will go ahead and my reference file will then create the palettes that I need to do that stuff. And strobe line is here. It's 20 through 27. And yeah. So yeah, I definitely do take consideration for the multi-instance fixtures because they're really great to use. I like Roadie, what are those, spiders? Those are really fun. I don't like the BI, just it's weird. It's popular. I think we run into Chinese ones, so I got a bad taste in my mouth. Oh, look, your thing is black. Oh, there we go. That's me. All right, what else you got? Philip Fucks has a really slow 2JZ. His car weighs like 74,000 pounds. It's got lead tires. Yeah, I'll repeat the question, sorry. Oh, okay. I gotta send. You gotta put pictures up. I sent you the picture. I gonna see all my OnlyFans pictures. No, I can't get it on the computer. Oh, you know what? It's rough. I don't want to do it. Well, hey, we should do a live stream on the fucking car because this shit's fun, man. That thing's so scary. I've never had a car all-wheel drive, and if you pop that clutch, you will spin all of those tires. Nothing breaks anymore. Oh, he's a V8 now? Well, good. I'll definitely roast you. You know, hey, Philip, get 100 grand. Let's go do the gumball. Oh, you want to see the air? Alex wants to see the strobe issue. All right, check this out. You can see my FPS in the upper left-hand corner, right? This is a Q7. This is just turning a Q7 on. Look at that. 11. It does it with every single strobe in this visualizer. It's pretty rough. Let me see if I can make that bigger with Revo. Man, if we could fix that, oh, it'd be great. Perfect. I think it's like that in all of them. There's something like they want it to be like a real strobe. We just need it to blink on time, guys. It doesn't need to be like this mega blinding thing because we if we need it, we can, you know, do a still image shot for the client to show them the big blinding light or whatever. But half the time it's just ridiculous. Let's see if we make this fucking thing bigger. There we go. Boom. Oh my God. So what's my most memorable show and what's my biggest biggest screw up? EDC Mexico. I didn't save the show file to my stick and I left. I get back to the hotel the next morning and I start working on it. And it was the wrong file. Oh, thank God that LD there saved that. That would have been a pretty interesting, you know, couple minutes while I got up and running for the beginning part of the show. But I learned my lesson, man. I'll never do that again, ever. I thought I had saved it. We were out there all day programming. In the sun, pushing buttons. It was rough. Wait, I think that might be VS Code. I'll try it. Monakai ++. Can I get rid of my 11 frames a second? Yeah, we just want it to blink, guys. Right. That's okay. Out of Joel's head, and I did the rest. Oh yeah, what did I contribute to Joel's Cube V3 and design? It's Joel's concept, sitting there on the jet, and he's like, I think I'm going to be in the cube. And I was like, yeah, we're going to make it rotate and tilt. And immediately Dean threw me out of the window. Good thing I had a parachute. Yeah, no, that project surprisingly went very smooth from our end. We had a really great team. Jason from F5D was the fabricator. Chris Schroeder from Chris Schroeder Productions. He was the guy that kind of held it all the glue together. Kept us on time. And thank you, Joel's Brain, for coming up with awesome shit. Yeah, the quality does kind of suck on YouTube, huh? He says, yeah. Really? Fuck yeah for cheap. Christian has a question for me. We needed fuck that color wheel. I do not like. Okay, so Sharpies on the rig for the QV3 tour. Did I want to have them, or was it a cost thing? I think everything in our industry is a cost thing, right? We got to be able to play nice with our management team to make sure that we're not spending the big buck and to keep the budget down. But in the end, you name a faster light. You got faster, more powerful beam? I don't think so. That thing's great. We went a decent way through the tour before realizing that 20-year-old lights don't like being flipped upside down on their head because then the prism falls in. So then we had to flip everything back, halfway through the tour to keep our prisms from interrupting our nice beam lines. But, some of those, like Coasted and Saturn, we really utilized the speed of the pan and tilt in those songs. Monophobia too. Pretty much everywhere we're like really wanted to whip them around and showcase what they can do. Rapper? Let's find out here. Gooey. Rapstar XX. One of them is for the TD system. That kind of keeps everything in check so it doesn't fall off. Has like reference points and stuff. Not necessarily using it in time because he does everything over OSC, but it's more like a reference for like the video files. Otherwise, they'll just not play. They need some kind of time. And then the other one's for lighting for the stripe that goes all the way through. And there's a couple shows. There we have a couple shows. He can control and change it up however he wants. And then we have the nice linear one that we programmed in rehearsals, which the way that we have everything programmed, we can move the time codes around just with offsets, which is really nice. So he'll fire me like an OSC array that will have the song, show 1 or show 2, and I'll go ahead and I'll load that up. It will spread my offsets apart, and then all I have to monitor are the transitions. What did I do before? I guess I'm full-time. I do all the shows. What did I do before? I drew stages. The Indy 500, did some for Spring Awakening here in Chicago. When he was doing that Summertime Sadness thing, that was a pretty good run. Other than that, this is like I spent most of my time programming festival stages, operating them, designing the stages, and now And everyone always says, like, they get up there and they see the show and they're like, man, I could have done so much better and so much better. And you got to give all these guys respect because you get out. Some weird shit's going on. It just completely ruined your day. Where were we last? And I had a really bad day. I think it was Orlando, Florida for EDC. Does that sound right? EDC Orlando. I get up there to that stage and I start loading the show file and it's crashing the desk because I had too much garbage in there from old fixtures. And it just, it was a bad day. Ultimately, the show was okay, but, it could be better without those problems. The JDCs in LA will slow down to 11 frames per second. Harry. Please buy all your L8 software from Alex. All the proceeds go to his personal kangaroo fund. Can I play a copyright-free song and bust to it? Oh, no. I mean, sure. I don't want to run lights right now. I'm programming mode. I got what do we got? 3 more weeks of this, and then we can actually go out and do a job. I hope. I'm itching to get out. I must say that I started to remodel my basement for where this started, and I'm still not done with the basement. I should be done. Alex lives in a pouch. No, I'm hungry. I can get some food. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's play some Call of Duty. I do. Do you? I'm looking at Junkbox Johnny. I'm terrible, by the way. I'll definitely hold a hand grenade and blow it up on all of us. The Titan RTX is legit, Anthony. It's a very good GPU. How do you visualize a show in general in Touch Designer? A lot of patience. Touch Designer is definitely a fully integrated communication hub between electrons. Don't say 5 to 6 months. What if we all get those weird face covering things that Production Club wants to press on us? Have I ever burnt out on lighting for a while? And if so, how did you handle it? I don't know what that means. This job is a hobby that became a job, which I don't necessarily recommend, but because now I don't have a hobby except the car, which now I want to open up a shop and make it a job. Who's ever saying just buy a 2080 Ti unless you do science? I don't know if that's true, man. If you're doing some previs, you're gonna need some gas. I upgraded from a pair of 2080 Ti's to this Titan, and I gotta say the single GPU is much better than the 22 gigs on SLI I was getting with the 2080s. Oh yeah, I don't know. So I'm gonna stream to you in the Osmo in the Evo this weekend. We'll take a rip down the highway.
I think that'd be awesome.
What do you think? I also want to, if anyone wants to donate a 510C to me, I will take it out into a field and I will pump it full of bullets and load it with tannerite, and we'll tell it we'll put it where it belongs. Let's say I need to take some aggression out. Oh no, it's GPU talk. No, I got a GPU because I have to run a visualizer. You want to talk about the visualizer? I mean, I think L8 looks pretty good. 30 FPS. I usually run this thing in 144 hertz mode, and I can park a look like this, and it usually sits around 50, which is pretty nice. What do you use for visualizer, Christian? Christian uses capture. Yeah, start. No, I was just pushing buttons on my console. I think we got to work on the ingestion process. I think it has something to do with the NDI processing on the same machine. That because I had NDI going on a different machine because I think OBS is pretty power heavy. What CPU am I using on here? This is a 1950X in this machine that I got with the visualizer. I would get a 2990WX, but we don't have jobs. Oh my God, that Evo 10, 4G60 swap and an Evo 10. You know how heavy that Evo 10 is? Jesus. I wanted to get one as a daily driver, but then I didn't want to drive around something that's overweight. So I got a Galant VR4 instead of 92. That's a fun little car. Yeah, but they have a new one. It's called RTX Bridge or whatever. Yeah. It just bridges the computing power or whatever between them. They sell it. It's not an SLI though. The Deadmau5 LED helmet was made with money. Please upload the stream, Jackson. I should have captured the video from my end and recorded it, which I did not. I would sit there and hunt out some good looks, though, sitting there and save them, during sound check or whatever. But that's my goal. How fast does it take you how long does it take you to get up and running in your show, Christian?
My show will probably be, I've got 3 different show files right now, but the Timecode show, I'd say about an hour of programming on site, and I can be in a real good spot.
How long is that delay now? All right. I'm going to get out of here. Go eat some dinner. Take the dog for a walk. Finish these plugins. All right. I'm definitely going to be hitting you up this weekend, though, so we'll stream a ride in the Evo. All right, guys. See you later. Thanks for watching this very blurry punt show file get up and go demo. See you.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in, and obviously huge thanks to Collyns for dealing with our tech problems. I think we'll figure out a new method to get a little lower latency. When we tested it out, of course, as all things happen when you test things, it works great for the first 2 hours when you're testing offline, and then you go to stream, and everything goes to crap. So we figured out some issues. That's always a good thing. Good thing to figure out what our problems are, and I think we have a solution to fix it. So apologies if there was some overlapping audio. We'll get it fixed for the next one for sure. And just to let you guys know, there is a change to the streaming schedule. So if you've been here on previous streams, you know that times would be different on different days. And that was to kind of make it so that everybody would have a time that they could watch it in their part of the world. But sometimes it's just not practical to do that. And it seems like it would be a better idea to just do a consistent date or a consistent time for all of the stream days. So I believe I have the new schedule up on the description. Basically 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, and that's my time. And then we'll do the Friday night live stream as usual. So that's the only difference. So thanks again to Collyns for hanging out and showing us his LUA show file. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Thanks for hanging out through our technical difficulties. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next stream. Thanks for hanging out. Stay safe, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.